He's pumped up. That was a big-time rejection. Brookdale's got some shot blockers on the floor. Darnell Askew, the most gifted of them, and that time Kukai. Lob it, caught by Campbell. Step back, couple of moves. Down to the foul line, Dumpy lost it, but it's off Brookdale.
Stays with the Vikings.
Inbounder, Messerol. Messerol driving, gives it up. Driving in Giovine on a kick, catch and shoot, Dumpy, air ball. Caught by Burke, and then he's fouled. That'll be on Campbell, the team's second.
Foul number 4, Khalil Campbell. His first personal foul, second team foul on Ocean County.
Brookdale 5 on the floor of Burke, Kukai, Kelsey, Myers. Here's Myers with Askew. To the corner, Kukai intercepted. Brian Dumpy floats it ahead of the floor, and Campbell puts it down for 2.
Basket by Khalil Campbell.
Myers with a nice catch on the pass. Oh, Askew flying high. Darnell Askew, what a season. I think you can make the argument he's been Brookdale's most consistent player, start to finish. Dumpy, that might have been blocked as Myers got a hand on it. And Kukai gets to the basket, blocking foul called. He'll shoot.
Foul number 15, Robert Giovine. His first personal foul, 13th foul on Ocean County.
Paul Chizek has talked at length about wanting to finish the season strong, to be in as good of a position going into postseason play as possible. They had no problem wiping away Passaic on Tuesday. Got another sub-500 opponent for a trip out to Pennsylvania for Luzerne coming up. Weiss, and there's a Brookdale foul, and Kukai jumping up and down in frustration.
Brookdale foul number 23, Adam Kukai. His first personal foul, 4th team foul.
First on Kukai, Brookdale holds a 9-point lead. Campbell gets inside and finishes. So he's their best, averaging about 18 a game, nearly a steal. But it will remain with Brookdale. Paul Chizek not pleased with one of his players. 7-point game. And Myers stripped and fouled. So each team is now committed 4 team fouls.
Ocean County foul number 3, Kai Messerol. His first personal, 4th team foul.
Save on Myers.
At the line for Brookdale number 33.
At 73%. Was the Conference Player of the Week just a couple of weeks ago. There have been a few different Brookdale players with that distinction this season. Manny Bell has won it twice. And Myers, the latest recipient, averaging nearly a double-double, team leader in steals. He can shoot the 3, he can score inside. One of those guys who just does a little bit of everything. 9-point game and a foul.
Kelsey. His first personal
Kelsey
foul,
on the
15th
foul. That's his
foul on
first.
Brookdale.
They will inbound it. Messerol. Looking for an option. He finds Weiss. Robert Giovanni with a nice move to the basket.
Robert Giovanni with the basket.
Just gliding. Here's another lob, and that one unable to be caught by Myers. So Brookdale perhaps a little greedy on the alley-oop. They converted on a couple of them. We saw a few in the game Tuesday as well. 9 minutes gone by. Campbell one-on-one. Weiss fakes. Hands it off Dumpy. Campbell driving a kick. Weiss catching fire, hits it, a three. Burke takes the pass and slams. Regan Burke drops the hammer. Kukai's got the steal. Fouled by Weiss. Team foul number 5. At the very least for Ocean, that put a stop to a potential fast break. And welcome to the game, Philip Bird. Has been a constant presence all season. Has started some, but mostly come off the bench, and he knows his role and does it well. Brookdale by 6. Askew inside for Myers, and he puts it in for 2. 25-17, pull up 3, Messerol, rims off, no. Rebound Myers. Askew bounces to the corner. Kelsey's three-pointer. Long, and to Ocean it goes. Substitution.
Ocean County, number 14, Brian Starrett.
Brian Starrett is in. No changes on the Brookdale side at that whistle. 25-17 the score. We're better than halfway through the first half. Campbell working hard against Bird. Bird gets the rebound. No go on the shot from inside. Kelsey for Myers. Score.
Myers. From Kareem Kelsey.
Brian Dumphy from the elbow. Raise the rim. Kukai with a nice behind the back handle. Takes it all the way to the basket. Scoop shot. Askew on the offensive board. Myers uncontested for 2. Brookdale lead a dozen. Campbell driving. Lost the handle out of his hands. Bounce it for Askew. He rocks the rim one more time. It's a dunk party in this first half for Brookdale. And they are starting to separate. 31-17, we got a full timeout. With 8:49 to go, we'll take a break on Brookdale TV.
My name is Regan Berg. I'm from Manhattan, New York. I'm a shooting guard, and I chose Brookdale because I thought it'd be good for my development as a basketball player.
My name is Latrell Thompson. I'm from Staten Island, New York. My position on this team, I'm a combo guard. The reason I chose Brookdale is because the culture, the coaching staff, and just the staff in general. You know, it's a great atmosphere, and I feel like who wouldn't want to come here, you know? It's a great school.
What's up? I'm Savon Myers, and I'm from Manchester Township, New Jersey, and the position on the team is forward. And I chose Brookdale because I think it's a good organization and a good coaching staff. And I got a lot of people that told me about the organization, and that's a good place, you know, so, you know, I took my talents here.
My name is Nick Memley. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I'm a guard for Brookdale, and I came to Brookdale to continue my athletic and academic career.
Brian Gadsford here with you. 8:49 to go in the half. Brookdale leads by 2 touchdowns, 31-17 on this Super Bowl week. Super Bowl Sunday coming up. Should be a good one out in Las Vegas. We're in New Jersey, in Lincroft, for Brookdale and Ocean. I mentioned during our first telecast, Tim Catalfamo in the house. We hope to have Tim join us in the booth during the second half. That will be a lot of fun. 31-17 the score, Ocean basketball. Giovine with a move inside, off the rim, no good, and Brookdale will take it.
Jersey Blues possession.
5 on the floor, Kelsey, Myers, Bell, Askew, and Bird. For the #1 team nationally, at last check, #2 was a school in Texas, Dallas College in North Lake. Bell's floater didn't get much on it, but Brookdale will get another chance. It's the inbounder, Kelsey. Askew, baseline delivery, bucket.
Basket by Darnell Askew.
Giovine backing in. Gets it swatted away by Myers, and his team takes possession. Floated for Kelsey. Into the paint, he's surrounded. Weiss comes away with it. Ahead of the floor is Giovine. Oh! Kareem Kelsey said no, but Ocean stays with it, and Brian Starrett has the easy layup. But Kareem Kelsey, I mean, Brookdale has had 2 emphatic blocks, both by guards. The first by Kukai. Wild pass here. Eventually it's taken away by Ocean. They've got a 3-on-1 advantage. They've got 2 and the foul. Brian Dunphy, a chance for 3.
Foul called to number 31, Kareem Kelsey. His second personal, 6th team foul on Brookdale.
Brian White checks in, and we got a timeout. 7:23 to go. We're in the first half. Brookdale lead by a dozen. Back after this.
My name is Jaden Cabrera. I'm from Perth Amboy, New Jersey, born and raised. I play the 4 and 5 for Brookdale basketball, and I came to Brookdale to further my academic and athletic career.
My name is Yadeli Cabrera. I'm from Roselle Catholic. I play guard, and the reason why I chose Brookdale was just seeking opportunity to save money through college.
My name is Kareem Irby. I'm from Hillside, New Jersey. I'm the point guard for Brookdale men's basketball team. The reason why I chose Brookdale is because it has the best school in New Jersey, and it's better for athletics.
Hello, my name is Jack Zink. I'm from Middletown, New Jersey. I either play the point guard or shooting guard, and I was led to Brookdale because I like the coaches and coaching staff and the players here.
I'm Darnell Askew. I'm the 5 for Brookdale. I'm from Staten Island, New York.
Cheerleaders taking the floor for the timeout. And we have 7:23 remaining. Brian Gadsford here with you on Brookdale TV. Game number 22 of the season for Brookdale, their 3rd here in February.
Rosen County number 21, Brian Dunphy at the line.
After just an utterly dominant month of January. I mean, the entire season has been that way for the Jersey Blues, but during January, all the times they scored 100 points, felt like every game was lopsided. 3-point play is good for Dunphy, so make it an 11-point game. Bird. Bell one-hands it and leans in for a shot that gets the roll. Takari Harrell is picked up by Askew defensively. Dunphy circling. Harrell shooting and missing, and Bird the rebound. Kukai barks out instructions. At the perimeter, Bird, pass knocked away, trying on the save, but it'll be unsuccessful. Good effort by Starrett.
Out of bounds, Brookdale possession.
Regan Burke back in to replace Askew. Bell inbounds in front of the Ocean bench. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Does Brookdale know it? Kukai, they're gonna have to put it up. Bell gets it away and hits. Just in the nick of time to ring the bell. It's Brookdale ball. Manny Bell was calling for it to be his team's ball, and he won the case. It's also worth noting that he's back in the game after hitting the floor hard, exited for a few minutes, but is good to go. Brookdale ill afford to lose one of their better players this juncture of the season. These are the most important games going into postseason play. Out of the reach of Bird.
Vikings possession.
Starrett, backdoor cut, and nicely done on the finish from Brian White. Save on Myers to the basket. He can't get it to go, but Bird does. Philip Bird emerging from his nest. Foul on Brookdale. Myers and Bell were both there.
Foul number 33, Savon Myers.
Myers picked it up. His first. Brookdale's 7th. Ocean has picked up 5. So now we got Brian White at the line.
He will have 1 and 1.
Freehold, New Jersey native. He'll shoot a 1 and 1. Just a 39% free throw shooter. As a team, Ocean 66%. Not bad, not great. Probably middle of the road. Two added 2. 39-26. Brookdale leads it. Come up on 5 minutes remaining. Bell gives it up, and Bird puts it in for 2. And good passing by Brookdale. They just get to their spots in transition, and their passing is on point, awfully difficult to stop. Now we hit the 5-minute mark, first half. A handle for White. Hands it off Harrell. Dumpy spinning around Myers. Bounce it for the shot by White. Rolled it out. Myers on the rebound. Kukai's up the floor. Bird streaking ahead. Blocking foul the call.
Foul number 14, Brian Starrett. His first personal foul, 6th team foul on the Vikings.
Call works against Starrett, so Bird is at the line. Down to Cleveland, Ohio.
Brookdale number 24, Darnell Askew.
Cannot recall another Ohio native that has been a part of this program over the last half dozen years. But Bird has taken his talents here and fit in very nicely. Campbell, nice move as he put the defender to side and puts it home. Stay with Brookdale on the ball out of bounds. Swing it, Kukai, 3-ball. Offensive rebound, Bird to Askew. Under 4 minutes now in the first half. Brookdale by 16 points. Robert Giovine, way outside with Campbell, makes his move toward the basket. Whistle, he traveled. When these teams met back on the 18th of January, Brookdale not only won it, they clobbered Ocean. A most lopsided victory this season, 119-57 the final, which, if you get the calculator out, that's Bell finishing, is a 62-point margin of victory. Lead 18 points. As it currently stands in the second and final meeting as we wind down this season in the Region 19. Harrell for 2.
Dakari Harrell with the basket.
Burke is fouled, and that's going to send him to the line on team foul number 7.
That's his first personal 7th team foul on Ocean County. The Vikings are now over the limit. At the line for
Regan
Brookdale,
Burke looking to find the form he had in the early part of the season. Just unfortunate that he had to hit the sidelines for a few games with those migraines. Misses the 1-and-1. Inside 3 minutes to go to the half. Way outside with White. Shot clock half expired. Giovine with a spin to the rim. Oh, nice move. And the lefty bucket for Robert Giovine. Andy Bell, look for the lob. There it is. And Askew gets the roll on the receiving end, finishing all in one motion. Gliding to the basket, but no good. Tip in, no, but a foul. Starrett to shoot a pair. Starrett, a 53% free throw shooter, an Ocean County native himself, hailing from Brick. Shizek talking with one of his starting players, and Regan Burke. Free throw. Good. Checking in now, Brian Dumphy to replace another Brian and White. And, of course, you're listening to a Brian on the call. Brian's everywhere. One out of 2. Final couple of minutes of the half. Back it out, Kukai. Reset near midcourt. Being watched closely. Annie Bell to Askew. Inside it's Myers. He muscles it up, no good. Picked up by Starrett. And now you got a 4-on-1 break for Ocean. And the layup finished off by Dumpy. Burke, offensive foul. So that has the Ocean bench rising to their feet. They've got a deep bench, a lot of players on the roster, but hasn't yielded great results. The record 7 games under 500. Played slightly better on the road compared to home, 4-7 away. They are losers of 4 in a row. Played a tight one on Tuesday night up in Paramus, but fell at Berg at 93-89. Dumpy got it. 11-point game. So much as the women's team did in the first game, they hung around. Askew unable to hit. Myers battling for it underneath, but taken by the Vikings. Exploiting the basket, Harrell blocked by Kukai, but they call a foul, and Paul Chizek absolutely cannot believe it. He's getting red in the face on this one.
Foul number 23, Adam Kukai. His second personal, 10th team foul.
He is very steamed up.
At the line for Ocean County, number 11, Dakari Harrell with 2 shots.
Two added 2. So the Brookdale lead is 9. Final minute, first half. Bell for 3, and no good. Back tap by Burke. Second chance opportunity. Kukai to the basket, through the paint, layup, no good. Rebounded by Starrett. Ocean a chance to get even closer. Dumpy shovels it, knocked out. It's Ocean basketball. No, there is a mix-up by the refs as one signaled Ocean, the other overruled, and Brookdale will have it with the shot clock and game clock separated by just a couple of seconds. Bell, turn around, Myers follow, yes, and 1.
Foul number 11, Dakari Harrell. His second personal, 8th team foul on Ocean. Checking in for Ocean, number 24, Dallas Weiss. Number 33, Savon Myers at the line with 1 shot.
Myers from Manchester. One and one, or no, it was a 3-point play. He got it. It's a 12-point game. The shot clock is turned off. Set it up with Dumpy, and might have just teed up Paul Chizek. Continued to bark about that Kukai foul from the last possession. So the Brookdale coach gets the technical.
Number 21, Brian Dumpy at the line for Ocean County.
He continued to gripe. The officials had heard enough. Dumpy makes the free throw, and he'll get 1 more. Short. Now it's Ocean possession. Try to set up a good shot to close the half. They're down 11. That's better than most teams have done against Brookdale this year, particularly in this building. Final 10 seconds. Dumpy. Dribble moves. Puts up the jumper, blocked by Askew. Got his big mid on it. Ahead of the floor is Bell, he didn't get it away. Shot will not count. The official makes the indication, negate the basket, and we are at halftime. So we hit the break. The score, Brookdale 51, Ocean 40. Brian Gadsford here with you. Back inside the Collins Arena as we get set for the start of the second half. Brookdale and Ocean. It is a lead for Brookdale, 51-40, on top of the Vikings as they look for their 22nd straight win, 21-0, number 1 nationally ranked. And we are about to be underway for the second half in an 11-point game as Ocean opens up with the basketball, and we got a whistle. And I'm not quite sure what that's about, but it gives us a chance to welcome back my old broadcast partner, my friend Tim Catalfamo, back in the Brookdale TV booth. Tim, great to have you back. As we got an alley-oop try, and it's good for Khalil Campbell. So Ocean starts the half by getting within 9 points. Brookdale back quickly the other way, where Bell's shot misses. Be out of bounds and going to the Vikings. And Tim, I know you've kept up with Brookdale after all these years. You still watch a lot of games. Your impressions of this team, which just continues to roll.
Well, the size that they have, I think, is very, very impressive. The height advantage that they have with a lot of the teams in the region, and the quickness and the speed, which has always been a staple of the Brookdale offense over the years under head coach Paul Chuzak.
An offensive rebound, a blocked shot by Myers. Ocean staying with the play. Myers comes down with it. And Tim, we saw a couple blocked shots in the first half of the emphatic variety. Kukai and Kareem Kelsey. I mean, from your seat, you were close to the action. What was it like to see those?
Well, Brookdale was definitely very aggressive in the first half. They were really, really forcing Ocean to take a lot of outside shots. They weren't allowing Ocean to really move the ball around the perimeter very much. But late in that first half, they really started to tighten things up. Brookdale made a couple of turnovers. And going into the half, Ocean, I felt, looks the team that had the momentum.
Askew's first attempt is good. I always say with the Brookdale team this year, you got to get them early if you're going to have any chance. I mean, if you go into halftime and it's a significant deficit, you're not coming back against this team.
Yeah, you have to keep it close for sure. I mean, you look at what Brookdale's done the last 2 games that they've played. They've beaten their opponents by nearly 40 points the last 2 games, and they've been undefeated this year. So you have to stay pace with Brookdale that likes to run very quickly. If you can't keep pace with him, you're going to fall behind.
Burke had the steal, but he couldn't keep the handle on it. So Ocean gets the possession. Weiss. And on the drive shot short for Dylan Hall. Save on Myers. Move it ahead, Regan. Burke got a bump. Couldn't finish the shot. Bell on the follow, off the front rim, tipped around multiple times. Askew's got it in his hands, and he finally puts it down.
Oh, that's that height advantage that we were talking about how tall Brookdale is. A lot of their players 6'3", 6'4" at least. Going up against Ocean. Ocean does not have anyone on the floor right now that's anywhere near that size.
And you give them that many opportunities, eventually they're going to break through. The miss from the corner by Harrell. Brookdale moves it ahead. Manny Bell catching fire, ring it up for 3.
By Manny Bell. 3-pointer.
Now he's one of Brookdale's best, Tim, all season. Very consistent. I mean, through the years that we called games together, we saw some big-time players through the years. Bell trying to put his name up among the Brookdale elite.
For the Vikings, number 15, Robert Giovanni checks in.
You know, you think years ago that Jameek Moore and Grant Good and Sky Harris, I mean, there's so many different guys.
There's been a lot of them for sure.
Trying on the back door, and it'll go to the Jersey Blues. So why don't you tell us what you're up to? We know you're doing NASCAR stuff. You've moved into some other broadcasting ventures. So how's it all been going?
It's been very good. It's been very busy. As you said, I've done a lot of work for NASCAR, on the public address side, also on the radio side as well. And, keeping busy throughout the year. It's traveling has become kind of part of the norm, and you get to see a lot of cool parts of this country, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, staying busy, working with NASCAR. I'm very, very happy doing what I'm doing.
And you've got the Daytona 500. It's the next big event coming up.
We're getting ready to head down there in a few days, yeah, for sure.
Later on, we'll have to get a Super Bowl pick. So that's coming up. I remember that was a tradition for us. As Irby misses Burke there, couldn't put it back in, taken by Weiss. Here comes Khalil Campbell in the open floor, at 2 defenders back, and he draws the foul. There were a few years there we were doing a game and it becomes like a 40-point margin in the second half. It's like, all right, Super Bowl Sunday, we're breaking out our picks now.
Well, that might be harder this year than it has been in past years because, to be honest with you, I think it's going to be I think it's surprising. I think it's going to surprise some people. I think it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people think.
I definitely expect it to be close as well.
For the Vikings, number 34.
Campbell, a 72% free throw shooter. Dakari Harrell goes to the Viking bench. Campbell, second attempt, got it. 58-43, Brookdale leads. I know you were tuned in last week. We had that double overtime classic against Northampton. Just a crazy game.
Yeah, Northampton has always been tough. When you look at the teams that Brookdale has to play in the Region 19 Conference, Northampton has always been towards the top of the list. So anytime that you have to play Northampton, whether it's here in the Collins Arena or on the road, they're always going to be a hard team to win against. I think that was one of the best games in this arena that we have seen in quite some time. Very competitive.
It wasn't just the fact that it was double overtime, because you could have a double overtime game and just kind of a ho-hum game, but just the highlights that game featured, the momentum swings, the crazy shots that were made by Northampton to stay alive for as long as they did. That's going to be a blocking foul. It just had all the ingredients.
That was one of several incredible games that we have seen over the years. I mean, when you look back at the last 10 years or so, you mentioned some of those very talented players that have come through Brookdale, Jameek Moore, Sky Harris. You look back at some of the teams, some of the games that those players on those rosters each year had against these same teams in the Region 19 Conference. This arena has seen a lot of good games over the years.
2 out of 2 for Bell. It's nice to see a pretty large crowd on hand, too. I'd say this is probably the largest of the season. Khalil Campbell, not expecting the pass, was Brandon Farber, and it's turned over as Brookdale's got it. Irby finds the handle. Burke hesitates, floats it up. No good, tips in his own miss.
For 2.
Patrick Boylan wants a timeout. It's a full timeout. Just about 4.5 gone by. Second half, the Brookdale lead is 21. Back in a moment.
My name is Jadeli Cabrera. I'm from Roselle Catholic. I play guard. And the reason why I chose Brookdale was just seeking opportunity to save money through college.
My name is Kareem Irby. I'm from Hillside, New Jersey. I'm the point guard for Brookdale men's basketball team. The reason why I chose Brookdale is because it has the best school in New Jersey, and it's better for athletics.
Hello, my name is Jack Zink. I'm from Middletown, New Jersey. I either play the point guard or shooting guard, and I was led to Brookdale because I like the coaches and the coaching staff and the players here.
I'm Darnell Askew. I'm the 5 for Brookdale. I'm from Staten Island, New York.
Hi, I'm Nick Williams. I'm from Paterson, New Jersey, and I played a 2 and a 3 at Brookdale Community College for, just like that.
My name is Manuel Bell, but they call me Manny. I'm from North New Jersey, and I played a 2 or a 3 for Brookdale basketball.
Hi, my name is Adam Kukai. I'm from Staten Island, New York. I play point guard for Brookdale, and I chose Brookdale because I like the arena.
What's up, y'all? This is Phillip Bird. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I played a 3 and a 4 for Brookdale. The reason I chose Brookdale is because first of all, I had nowhere else to go. And talking to Cheese, he had faith in me, trusting me that I could come and make something happen at this program. That's why I chose Brookdale.
Back inside the Collins Arena with thanks to our entire Brookdale TV crew as we're in game 2 of the doubleheader, Brookdale and Ocean. Dallas Weiss drills the three-pointer. I remember him from last year. This is a guy who can shoot the ball.
We saw towards the end of the first half that Ocean was able to make a run after Brookdale had kind of established a significant lead. So now the question becomes, can Ocean do that here in the second half? Being as far down as they are, albeit you still have 15 minutes to play, now is the time where you have to, every 4 or 5 minutes, continue to cut into that lead, get it down 4 or 5 points at a time. That's the only way you can come from behind and make it close.
As Irby unable to hit the three, Askew tries to keep it alive, but it's taken by Ocean. And all the way to the basket with a strong move, Robert Giovanni.
That was impressive.
Myers backs up to the corner. He can shoot from out there. He will. He's got it.
3-point basket by St. Bon Myers.
I think that's why Brookdale has been so tough to beat if you're a team in the Region 19 conference this season, because you look at what Brookdale can do when they have the basketball. They can really spread the floor, and what I mean is they not only can beat you in quickness, or they can beat you under the basket, but they can beat you around the perimeter as well. They have really good shooters, really good athletes on either side of the ball. It's one of the reasons why this team is undefeated.
Yeah, and we've talked throughout the broadcast this season as Burke puts up a three, that misses. Here comes Robert Giovanni, one-on-one in the open floor, poked away by Irby. And Myers lobs it up, Askew. This team has a bunch of high flyers. The lead is 21. I'll continue my point when I get a chance, but right now we got a frantic pace, a foul called, and that was Robert Giovanni who took a shot in the midsection.
I think he may have gotten some kind of phase too.
That's his third
Might have lost a
personal foul.
contact too, I'm not sure, but
on Brookdale. For Brookdale,
appears to be
checking in
okay.
number 30, Jack Zink.
Block, but a foul, and that'll be on Askew. But back to my point before is one of the impressive things about this season for Brookdale, you know, last year they were national champions. A lot of the players that were on that team moved on. You know, they had Kevin Mateo, Nick Williams, and others, and they've, you know, haven't missed a beat without some of their best from a year ago. You know, they recruit new players, and the beat just goes on.
well, I think a lot of that has to do with the recruiting that not only Coach Chizak but his entire staff have consistently been able to do year after year, going out, recruiting within the area, within the state, getting players to come here to Brookdale. And we were talking about this even off air before we started. It doesn't seem to matter what year, whether it's a good year or a down year, Brookdale has always been at the top of the conference as far as competitiveness, athleticism, and talent. So it really is a testament to, I believe, the coaching staff of how well they've been able to recruit and keep that going for such a long period of time.
Zink too strong, long rebound, Weiss. Yeah, and it's just remarkable that for the longevity of Paul Chizak, that he's been able to keep the team as competitive for such a long time. That, I feel like, is the hardest part. You would think at some point over a 30-year period, there'd be a bit of a downturn, but they don't have that.
Well, I think a lot of it also, Brian, is the fact that, to kind of go off of your point, when you've been doing this consistently for so long, it gets harder and harder to stay at the top, because when you're at the top and you are one of the best teams, if not the best team in the conference every single year, the target is on your back, so to speak. Everybody wants to beat you. Everyone wants to get up to your level of competitiveness. So that makes it even harder if you're the top team to continue that dominance year after year after year. So that kind of goes along with what I was saying about how impressive it is.
Brian Gardner, and I'm joined for this second half by Tim Catalfamo, who's spent many an evening in this Brookdale TV booth, and it's great to have Tim back in the arena tonight and on our broadcast this evening. Tim, your first year here was what, 2014? When was your first one?
Ooh, well, I started out as a student camera operator back in the fall of 2013. That was my freshman year. I went to Brookdale, graduated as an alumni, and then I started coming up here to the booth to do games in the fall of 2015. And I think that was the year that you and I first got paired up together, if I'm not mistaken.
2016.
Yeah. So it's been a good number of years, but it's funny, you know, when you come back into this arena like I was this afternoon, and kind of reflecting on the time and all of the games that I've called here, all the memories come flooding back as you come into the arena. It really is a pretty special place for me.
We got a 30-second timeout, so let's keep it here on Brookdale TV with 12:18 remaining. Yeah, I remember that 2016 season well. I remember the team well. And it's funny, when I go back and look at that first broadcast that I ever did here, of course, with you alongside, I cringe because of how jittery and uncomfortable I looked. I mean, it was not a good broadcast for me. You were fine. You were far more polished
That's
than
very
me.
kind.
But I remember the opponent. They were playing Bergen. Of course, Brookdale won it, but that's when it all started for me.
That was the year, I believe, that, trying to recall if Brookdale won the region title that year or if it was the women that won the title. I think one of the teams from Brookdale may have won the title. I'm trying to remember back to that season.
For the basket, for number 30.
Regardless, it was a successful season. I don't think any of the seasons that we were here together, Brookdale had a losing season.
No. Certainly not on the men's side. The women may have had one losing season in there, but it's been mostly winning years for them as well. Brunson took over the program the first year I started here, so he's had a good sampling now. Free throw missed by Zink. It's Brookdale by 20. About 8 minutes gone in the second half. Kai Meserol tries to spin. He's called for traveling.
Traveling call, possession to the Jersey Blues.
And of course, we did games in the region tournament, did games that didn't even feature Brookdale on a couple occasions as well.
Yeah. And you mentioned the women's team. Quick shout out to Rich Brunson, Eddie Harris, that entire staff on the women's basketball side. I know they're having a tough go at it this year, but you know, you look at the success that they have still had over the last several seasons. That's been impressive as well, to see what they have been able to do. They remain competitive year in and year out. They had a great win tonight over Ocean County College earlier in the evening. So that staff, Rich, everyone does a really good job. Shout out to them as well.
Here they may have gotten Patrick Boylan, the head coach for Ocean, for a technical foul. So if you're keeping score, that is one technical foul apiece on each of the coaches tonight. We certainly saw Paul Chizek pick up his fair share of technicals along the way. Brookdale bothered by the press, they turn it over. Weiss for three, late closeout, in and out, and Bird the rebound. Surrounded and fouled.
One thing that's been impressive to me, Brian, watching this team this year for Brookdale is their ability to rebound the basketball, especially when a shot goes up. We talked about the size that this team has. You look up and down their roster, everyone on their team is 6 foot or taller. And when you have an entire team that is like that, and you go up against some of these teams in the Region 19 Conference, it gives you an advantage because that helps you tremendously when you're trying to grab the rebound, to box somebody out, to get position underneath the basket to bring the ball down.
Will definitely be a key aspect of their game going into postseason play as Bell goes down hard. We saw him go down hard in the first half. Fortunate that he was able to
Foul number
continue.
24, Dallas Weiss, his third personal.
It's like this is a game where he's got a few bumps and bruises.
At the line for Brookdale, number 13, Manny Bell with 2 shots.
75% free throw shooter is the sophomore. One out of 2, rebound Weiss. Ryan Dumpy handed off Weiss, thought about the 3. Dumpy will pull the trigger, long and rebounded by Zink. Kareem Irby with contact, able to finish. 9 minutes down, 11 to go, second half. Crossover move, Meserol, a series of moves, finds a backdoor cutter, count it, and 1. And once again, it's Dumpy, and he's now banged up.
That was a really good pass by Meserol, though. Got into the lane, kind of stopped, froze the defense, and then was able to hit his teammate that was cutting to the basket. So really good pass by Meserol there just a moment ago.
Ocean County.
So Dumpy has got back-to-back baskets for Ocean. This one costs him some pain in the process. And he'll try to make good on a 3-point play. He's a double-digit scorer averaging this season, the Howell native. Pretty lengthy pause before he takes the free throw. And they got some court maintenance to tend to. That's good. Kukai for Burke, and what's the call? Not completely clear on the, there was no signal whether it was a foul or travel. So we'll call that a mysterious turnover. Meserol's 3-pointer off the rim. Bird soars for the rebound. 20-point game at 80-60, approaching the halfway point of the second half. Swing it, Bell, down low, Askew. Nice find for Bird, but he blew the inside shot, gets a second try, and makes good on that.
But a nice job by Philip Bird keeping with the play, even though he didn't make the initial basket. He had 3 defenders around him, followed his shot, so to speak, didn't give up on the play, and was able to follow it up with a nice layup.
Does it feel like you'd never left here doing color commentary?
It's coming back. It's surprising. All these memories are flooding back into my mind. It's great to be back here in the Collins Arena.
Well, of course, you've stayed in broadcasting shape, not only with all your NASCAR experience, but doing some games with Rutgers as well.
Yeah, I've done a couple games up at Rutgers. I go back up there. You know, it's funny, Brookdale and Rutgers, my 2 alma maters, right? So I got my associate's degree here. Come back here, doing the games was special, not just because it's where I started, but because it's where I graduated from. And then to be able to do the same thing up at Rutgers as well, that's pretty special too. But it's just like anything else, right? It's just like when you go to the gym, you got to keep yourself in shape, keep those reps going. Otherwise, you start to lose your edge a little bit.
Now, with NASCAR, is it mostly public address, or it's a mix, like straight play-by-play too?
It's a mix. So what I do is I work for NASCAR Productions, doing public address at all the NASCAR-owned racetracks. And then in addition to that, I also work for the Motor Racing Network, which is MRN's national radio broadcast company, NASCAR's national radio broadcast company. and I work in the turns for them, which is what it sounds like. So when you're a turn announcer, when the cars are in a certain section of the racetrack, we have a little clicker, a little microphone that we click in. We call what's happening. When the cars leave our section, we click out, give it off to the next person in line, and it's like almost like a little relay race system, so to speak. We work really well together, and everybody between, whether it's NASCAR Productions or MRN, they're such a joy and pleasure to work with. But I would say it's a mix between the two.
Follow is good to Corey Farrell, cleaning up the initial miss. As they some life from the Ocean bench, but they still got plenty of work to do in a 19-point hole. Quick passing, and Burke offensive.
Player control foul number 32, Regan Burke.
That's a tough call because I think the defender was inside that restricted area.
On the Jersey Blues.
But we kind of saw this, Brian, at the end of the first half, where Ocean started to press Brookdale just a little bit, and Brookdale was having some difficulty at times handling that press, and it allowed Ocean to take advantage of some of those opportunities, make some shots, and start to close back in and cut into the Brookdale lead. We'll see if they can do that here.
Weiss short on the three. Askew lets it go. It's Brookdale ball. There are 5 on the floor as Burke, Irby, Askew, Bell, and Bird.
And you see again this full court presser. They've got, Ocean has got 3 players here in the backcourt trying to pressure Brookdale into a mistake here.
They're able to beat it well in the alley-oop. Bell to Askew. Not the first time we've seen that combination link up.
And that's almost the exact same play that we have seen repeatedly, going back to that point that I was making. When Ocean would press, when Brookdale would be able to beat the press, it was the exact same play where Brookdale had 2 players down on the other side of the floor, ready for that pass, and they were able to score right at the rim.
That time they're going to get Bird on the foul.
Fouls on number 20, Philip Bird.
If there's one thing that's consistent all the years that you've watched this team, and really through the entire coaching tenure of Paul Chizek, the way his teams play on the offensive end, it's an aggressive style, it's a run and gun team, and very few teams are able to match what they can do.
Well, in all the conversations I've ever had with Coach Chizak or any of the staff, Coach Hawthorne, anybody who you talk to on the Brookdale men's basketball coaching staff, they will always tell you that their strategy has always been to get out and run. And they feel like if they can get out and run on offense, it gives them an advantage to be able to not only put a lot of points on the board, but to force the other team into some mistakes to try to keep up with that speed. That's always been the strategy that I've seen Coach Chizak employ over the last decade or so that I've been doing, watching games here, doing games here, combination of the two. And it's worked to perfection at many times.
He just always seems to find the personnel that suits that style each year. Here's Bird for 3. Missed it short. Askew's got the offensive rebound. It's off a foot, out of bounds.
So kicking violation.
And Khalil Campbell comes in.
However, you have to give credit to Ocean County here. This is a team that they are playing in the Collins Arena tonight, Brookdale, that not only is the #1 ranked team in the nation, but they're the top team in the conference. And I know that they're down by 20 points, but it's the way that you look at how you evaluate yourself on the floor. Certainly you want to be competitive, but I think that they have shown at times that they can compete toe-to-toe with Brookdale tonight. So I know it's been a tough night so far for Ocean, but they've been able to hang around in this game, I think, a lot more than people may have expected before this game started.
I mean, an 18-point game, it almost feels like a victory for the other team this year. The way Brookdale has just been a well-oiled machine. We're not playing soccer today, but there's been quite a number of kick violations.
Yeah, number 14, Starrett, had the right idea. He was looking for his teammate Campbell, who was cutting to the basket, but again, Brookdale's defense has been pretty tough so far tonight. if you're Ocean, I think how you're going to get into this game with 6:55 left, Brian, is you're going to have to go to the rim and draw some contact to get to the line and try to extend this out a little bit. I don't think you can get into a shooting match with Brookdale from around the perimeter. You've got to go to the rim and try to get a foul.
Turnovers won't help, but Bell is called for the offensive foul. So the ball back to Ocean. And Tim, I also recall, as we have Tim Catalfamo in the booth with us tonight, you were on the call for one of the national tournaments at the Division III level.
Yes, so that was the, I believe, the women's Division III national tournament, national basketball tournament that was held here at the Collins Arena several years ago. That was quite a fun event to be a part of because there were teams, as with any national tournament in the NJCAA, will travel from all over the place, and that was really, really cool to see all those teams, talk to all those players, talk to the coaching staff. They were all so excited just to be in the national tournament. That was a lot of fun.
Did you also have an out-of-state trip? I recall something in Illinois, or maybe I'm not recalling correctly. But
so I was asked by the NJCAA to do the, trying to think of the date here, the 2019 Division II men's national basketball tournament, which has historically been held, and as far as I know, is still held in Danville, Illinois.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun. I believe there were 24 teams that were part of that tournament that traveled out there. That was a lot of prep work, I will say. That took about 3 or 4 weeks to get all ready and all organized. As far as a broadcaster is concerned, you just want to have notes on everybody, make sure that you have all the correct pronunciations and everything. But that was a fun part. That was a fun event to be a part of, for sure.
Irby, 2 out of 2 from the line. The lead is 20 for Brookdale, and 6.5 remaining. Hook it over to Weiss, puts up the 3 and knocks it down. You got to get a hand in his face.
That's a shot that Weiss has been looking for all night long. Was able to get that one to go.
But there's Askew as he continues to do damage. It was a dunk party in that first half with Askew leading the way. Had about 5 dunks. As Myers takes control of it here for Brookdale, looking for a teammate. It's Irby.
But that's kind of been how the game has gone. Ocean has, every time they've gotten some momentum, they've given up a basket at the other end, right at the rim, when they've been trying to press Brookdale on defense. So that's kind of been the way things have gone tonight. Ocean has had flashes of momentum, and they have shot the ball at times very well. They've still put 72 points up on the board so far in this game. That's nothing to sneeze at. But what has, I think, been counterintuitive is Brookdale has been able to handle their press and get a lot of easy baskets at the other end.
Outside the timeout, it will be Ocean basketball. Brookdale gets lined up defensively. 5:49 remaining. A comfortable lead, but less of a lead than the typical Jersey Blue game this year. 91-72. Khalil Campbell, his pass tipped and stolen. Myers leads Irby too far, but he saves it, and Bell doesn't get it to go. Tip in, no. Askew again, got it.
Darnell Askew.
That's just athleticism and more commitment to never giving up on that play. That's why this team is ranked #1 in the country.
Number 2, a school in Texas. Weiss, front rim on the 3. The rebound to Askew. The Brookdale 5 is Burke, Irby, Askew, Myers, and Bell. Here's Myers, he thought about it. He swings it, Irby, good movement, Burke, no. And Weiss climbs for the rebound. Going to the basket with a hard foul on Myers.
Shooting foul called on number 33, Savon Myers.
And something also that has been impressive to me, Brian, you look at how many points that Brookdale has put up in this game so far, 93. Then you look at all the teams, all the games that Brookdale has played this year, and you look at the amount of points that they have put up. They are averaging 90 points or so each time that they step on the floor. You look at the last 2 games that they've played. They played Sussex last Thursday. They won that game 103-68. And then a couple nights ago, they played Passaic. They won that game 104-63. I mean, there are some teams in the NBA that can't even put up that amount of points during a full basketball game. So that, I think, is another impressive aspect to this team. Not only are they good defensively, and they have great size and athleticism, but they can score, and they can score a lot of points.
Yeah, just this new year alone, 2024, they have topped the 100-point mark 6 times and just might make it 7 tonight because they're certainly within range. Weiss, long 3, and Zink on the rebound. Zink, you know, when he's in the game, he's looking to shoot the 3 if they can find him. But here it's Askew. Missed it, follow again. He's just tough down in that painted area.
And I've been impressed with Askew. He's 6'6", sophomore from Brooklyn, New York. But what he has is the ability to have a presence down low. And how many times tonight have we seen him be able to take advantage of opportunities right at the rim and capitalize and get points right inside the paint, right underneath the basket?
He's a guy who plays bigger than 6'6". Like, you look at him, he's an intimidating presence out there. Free throw rattles in for Dakari Harrell.
Very good player.
Point Brookdale lead. Next up for the Jersey Blues, it's Saturday at Luzerne as they make the out-of-state trip to Pennsylvania. 4 games in total remaining as they bid for the undefeated season. Zink steps back for 3. Didn't get it. Rebound Harrell. Ocean looking to move quickly. Dumphy stops, backs it out. Harrell connects a 3.
3-point basket by Dakari Harrell. 3-pointer.
So maybe one last gasp here, but Brookdale puts a stop to that with Myers to Askew, whose big night continues.
And again, just being able to handle that press, that play that we just saw, I've probably seen that same play, it's got to be 13 or 14 times tonight, where Askew has been right underneath the basket. When Ocean has gone out to press, they haven't picked him up. He's been right there, he gets the pass, and he's able to easily lay it in. It's really been the difference in this game.
Campbell draws 2 defenders, swing it back out. Meserol lost the handle, run into, and a foul. Paul Chizek screams out no, while Charlie Hawthorne says, it's a 19-point game. Let's conserve the energy.
That's his 2nd personal. At the line for Ocean County, number 3.
But you know when he's seated that the game is at a comfortable enough point that you can breathe a little bit. Meserol at the line, first attempt, bounces no good.
For the Vikings, number 15, Robert.
And I know things haven't quite gone Ocean's way tonight, but we've talked about it a couple times. They have remained competitive, and you look at how many points that they consequently have been able to put up on the board. This is a good showing for them. Again, going up against the #1 team in the country, a team that came in here tonight 7-14 overall, 5-10 in conference play. Again, it's not the result that they're looking for, but you look at the measuring stick, look at who they're playing tonight on the road. I still think there are some positives that Ocean can take away from this game.
Inside 3 minutes to play now. Bruce Gooding has checked in for the first time on the Brookdale side. There's a block. Call that a Darnell denial. Zink gets to the basket for the layup. And with that, Brookdale goes over the 100-point mark. 101-79. They swing it to the Vikings with Harrell pivoting outside for Weiss. His 3-pointer, strong. Rebound, Zink. And Askew, that's an easy 2. Jack Zink, who has the distinction, I believe, as the only Brookdale player whose last name is on the periodic table.
Well, that's 3 games in a row, Brian, that they have scored. Brookdale has over 100 points. They're at 103. I mentioned those numbers a couple moments ago. 3 games in a row, they've eclipsed 100 points. I don't care what conference you're in, what division you are in men's college basketball, even at the junior college level, that is extremely impressive. Anytime you can put more than 100 points up on the board in a 40-minute game.
Well, they scored as many as 123 in a game. Askew is interfered with on another dunk attempt. I mean, he's just had a monster game tonight. Now we'll go to the line.
Foul number 15, Robert Giovanni. His third personal.
Ocean is ready to empty the bench at this point. Game in
for
hand.
Number 24, Darnell Askew. 2 shots.
Latrell Thompson readying to come in for Brookdale for the final minute and change.
For the Vikings, number 25, Joseph Spisso. Number 34,
Here they
Brandon
come, a
Farber.
trio of
Number 33,
changes.
Ryan Fitzgerald. And number
Led
22,
by Brandon
Dorian
Farber.
Check in.
Dorian
For
Alston
Brookdale,
is also in for the
number
first
14,
time.
Latrell Thompson checks in.
Do you remember the one time in our post-game wrap-up on camera, we're closing out of the broadcast and I lost the headset? It just slipped right off.
I do remember that. If I recall, you caught it, and we were able to just cut the shot right there, wrap up the broadcast. It was all kind of in one motion.
For the basket, number 33.
And saved it from
Savon
being too
Myers.
embarrassing of a moment. But Savon Myers adds the exclamation point with a ferocious throwdown, gets an and one out of it. And Brookdale rolling again.
Foul number 22.
Savon Myers has also been
Dorian
impressive.
Alston.
We've talked a
His
lot
first
about
personal, 10th team
Askew,
foul.
and for good reason.
On Ocean.
He's an impressive player, but Savon Myers also as well has had a lot of fast break opportunities. He's also been able to finish emphatically at the rim on more than one occasion tonight.
Ball batted out of bounds. And the amazing thing last year, this team had a chance at an undefeated season. They had won something like their first 15 in a row, and then they ended up having to give away a couple of games on forfeits. Otherwise, they might have been undefeated last year. As is, it's a winning streak of 38 in a row going back to last year. So, I mean, it has just been absolutely dominant run. Latrell Thompson first attempt, and he gets the volley.
Thompson.
It's definitely not easy to do. I mean, you look at even in like professional sports, it's almost unheard of to go undefeated the entire regular season. It's very, very difficult no matter what league, what sport, regardless of what it is. It's very difficult to go undefeated. That's not to say that Brookdale still doesn't have some
County, number 20.
games that they have to focus on. They've still got 4 games to close out the year after this one tonight. But with how they are playing, I wouldn't say it's out of reach, but it certainly is very difficult. It's not easy to go undefeated.
And certainly the last game of the year will be the biggest test against Montgomery, who's lost only one time. And if it holds or both teams win out, Montgomery would take it on the tiebreaker. So that game has a lot on it.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Chizak actually before the game started, and that was the team that he mentioned at the end of the year, the very last game in the regular season, going to play at Montgomery. He said that is going to be the next game that he believes is going to be the toughest challenge. All the games that they have coming up are still going to be tough, no doubt about it. But that was the game that he was thinking of at the end of the year, the very last game that he feels is going to be the toughest challenge for his team.
Here's a 3 for Dorian Alston, as Ocean's got basically 5 new players in the game. Bruce Gooding blocked. All right, we held the anticipation long enough. Before we get out of here, we got to get the Tim Catalfamo Super Bowl prediction.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go with the 49ers. I think that San Francisco is going to surprise Kansas City. Now, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, that whole team, they're a good team, but I would not be surprised if the 49ers make it interesting.
I'm in full agreement as Ocean commits a last foul here. I feel like most of the picks are on the Kansas City side. Of course, the whole Taylor Swift situation, but I'm riding 49ers. I think they're going to win a close game. I just think they're the more talented team top to bottom. They don't have the edge at quarterback, we know, but I just feel like it's their year to get it done. Should be a great game, though. Looking forward to it.
I think it will be.
Thompson at the line.
Now watch, now that we've both picked the 49ers will be blown out of the building by Kansas City. So it's kind of like the announcer's curse, if you will. I think it'll be a good game, though. I really do. I think it'll be a good game.
Final 12 seconds. Shot clock is turned off. Ball goes up for Colin Raymond, no good. Final seconds of the game. Ocean gets one last basket with Dorian Alston, and this game is over.
And the final score, the Brookdale
And that
Blues,
is 22 wins in 22 tries this season. The Jersey Blues, as we've documented all evening long, continuing their dominant run. They once again topped the 100-point mark as they finished with 109 and a final score tonight, 109-84. They knock off Ocean to complete the season sweep against the Vikings. We had Tim Catalfamo here with us for the second half. Tim, it was a pleasure to have you in the booth. Any final thoughts here in the back part of this Brookdale season?
Well, I think for Brookdale, I think that the sky is the limit for what this team can accomplish. Paul Chizak, you see him right there on Brookdale TV. What he and his staff have been able to accomplish the last year and a half has been nothing short of spectacular. I think they've got a really good shot to repeat as a national champion. They got to get through the region first. They got to win their conference to get that bid. But I think certainly they have got a really good chance to do so. And as far as on a personal note, it was a really big pleasure to come up here and to be on the air with you for the second half. Always a pleasure, my friend.
No doubt about it. We thank Tim. We thank you for listening all evening long. It is a Jersey Blues sweep. Once again, the final score here in the men's game, 109-84. Brookdale knocks off Ocean to remain unbeaten. So that'll do it for our coverage here on Brookdale TV. For Tim Catalfamo, our entire Brookdale TV crew, led by Sergey Kornienko, Brian Gadsworth saying so long and good night from Lincroft, New Jersey. We'll see you next time on Brookdale TV. So long.